Hello, and welcome back to Crosshatch Puzzles. We're here on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. Today's Wednesday grid is by John Donegan, who has apparently contributed one previous puzzle to the New York Times a couple of years ago, so I probably would not have done that yet. But this is his second, and it's a Wednesday puzzle, so we should be expecting perhaps a tricky theme and some maybe tricky midweek kind of fill. So let's see what we've got in store for us today. John Donegan's puzzle for Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Let's start solving. The R of REM, that's rapid eye movement, a stage in sleep cycles, one of the sleep cycles. States. This could mean a lot of different things. Maybe just something like says. We'll see. Little devil, maybe an imp. Bring down. This could mean something like topple, or it could mean something else. Milkshake ingredient that might get stuck in a straw. Milkshake ingredient that might get stuck in a straw. What would you put in a milkshake? All I can think of is like berries, but that's clearly not going to fit here. Gotta be missing something. Whatever. He could say meh, maybe. Dracula's preferred way to eat wings. Okay, so this is probably going to be part of the theme here. It looks like there's 4 spanning entries, 16, 26, 47, and 61 across. Not sure what they're all about. Definitely some wordplay going on. Dracula's preferred way to eat wings. I don't know. Not sure. When you coming? Question mark. Do we just want ETA here? I mean, you could say ETA question mark in a text. I'm not sure that's right. Jocular suffix for most. Most. Jocular. I mean, is this just like est? Like you could add est onto things that normally don't get est to make sort of funny. I don't know if that's right though. First aid stinger. Stinger. Like an EpiPen? Could be that. That would be a first aid device for people with allergies. What is that short for? Epinephrine, I think. Still red, say. Still red, say. Red is often a code for like being angry in the crossword, but I'm not sure if that's still red. Maybe, or it could mean something like ripe, as in a fruit. If a fruit is still red, I'm not sure about that. Not much, maybe a bit. Jupiter and Mars. Now I want planets here. Planets doesn't quite fit. They could also be referring to Roman gods. It could be something else too. Are those both candy bars maybe? I'm not sure. In a way. In a way. Instead of saying in a way, you could say ish. Maybe. Pick up on. So we have bring down and we have pick up on. To pick up on could be to deduce. I don't like the way this looks with the crosses, and I'm not really sure about ripe. I'm not really even sure about ETA, actually, but... Huh. This looks like it might be with something. Let me take out ETA. Still red, say. Bring down. Is this abuse, maybe? Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter and Mars. Oh. I guess I'm not sure about deduce. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Loosens up. Slackens? No. Response to speak. Speak. Arf. Like a dog, if a dog is trained to speak when you say speak, they might arf in response. Cold weather cryptid. See, I want this to be Yeti. In which case this is not an EpiPen. I think Yeti is right though. Milkshake ingredient that might get stuck in a straw. Is this an Oreo? Man, they keep trying to come up with interesting ways to clue the entry Oreo, which is a very common entry just because of its unique combination of letters. In the New York Times grid, I guess Oreos might get stuck in a straw if they're crumbled up and blended into milkshakes. Okay, neighborhood in Warren Zevon's Werewolves of London. I'm gonna guess Soho, just because that's a neighborhood. But maybe not, because I don't like how this looks. What other kind of neighborhood is in London, starting with S-O? Soho is a New York thing. Maybe it's not even, maybe there isn't a Soho in London. I don't know what this could be then. Knock back a few, to imbibe, as in alcoholic beverages. Big bully. Big bully. Aquarium diagnostic. See, pH to me then I would want to be pH level, but maybe there's another name for the pH level. Diagnostic, maybe it's just a pH test. As far as diagnostic, that could work. Sebastian the blank, mascot of the Miami Hurricanes. Is it an ibis? That's a bird. It's a wading bird. I don't know if they're even native to Florida or whether that could be correct, but I don't know. Then what on earth could this be? First aid stinger. Dracula's preferred way. Something. The bat? Right off the bat? Maybe. A big bully could be a meanie. So I guess the implication here, so right off the bat is just a phrase meaning, to start with or something like that. But, I mean, this is a little bit odd. I guess the implication here is that Dracula's not eating chicken wings, but eating bat wings. But I don't know that there's anything in the lore about Dracula actually eating bats. I thought that, Dracula turns into a bat. So that's a little odd, but maybe. Iodine, first aid stinger. You could apply iodine to a wound and that would certainly sting you. It is a first aid, I think it's a sterilizer, maybe, iodine? Not sure. Enlighten could be to enlighten. I don't see this either. Oh, more Dracula. What makes Dracula frantically hop around? Okay, so enlighten could be edify, and this looks like something about feet. Not sure what, though. Eldest Corleone brother. Oof. This is a Godfather series stuff, but I don't really know. Spanish name found in business. In the word business? Is this Inez, maybe? Fastener with an onomatopoeic name. Fastener. Tack or a clip or snap? That could be. Is a snap kind of fastener? Maybe not. Food fight projectile. A P? That's a little weird. Restaurant chain acronym, though, that's going to be IHOP, probably. The International House of Pancakes. Cell centers, cell nuclei, maybe? Loosens up could be softens, and this could be Sonny Corleone, that could be fine. World capital near the 60th parallel, probably Oslo in Norway. Jocular suffix for most. It looks like it is going to be est. To pick up on could be to detect. What if this is ETA? Still red, say. That could be rare if you're talking about meat and how it's cooked. Jupiter. What on earth? Jupiter and Mars. Why can I not see this? Pug. Like, I still want this to be abuse. Maybe abase. Pagan gods? Jupiter and Mars, I guess. Okay, so the Roman mythology, Roman religion was regarded as pagan once Christianity came around. Abase could be to bring down. This is to talk ill of. Right on his feet? No. What on his feet? Light on his feet? What makes Dracula frantically hop around? Light on his feet. Okay, so this Dracula is, I guess, is part of the lore is that he is averse to sunlight. So if there's light shining on his feet, he might hop around to try and get his feet out of the light. That could work. Sorry, that's incorrect. Could be which is one of those phrases, one of those sounds, I guess, that is not necessarily, there's not like a standard spelling for it. I mean, I guess that is as far as a standard spelling goes, but it doesn't really look like, could also be although sometimes I guess that's spelled H-U-H. Anyway, no big deal. Clickable pick. Clickable pick. Why don't I see that? Or, actually, sorry, that's incorrect. It could be no. Rendering my entire rant about it useless. Clickable pick then could be an icon. Oops. Like a desktop icon. Word with, or an app icon on a phone. Word with still or shelf. Still life or shelf life. Okay, fine. New Jack City co-star 1991. No idea. Never heard of that. Some unidentified visitors for short. Extraterrestrials, maybe? I really don't know who this is. Felt something on your head, question mark. Felt. A fedora is a felt hat that could be on your head. I don't know who this is or what this is. New Jack City, ICET. To bring up, or we had bring down here. Now we have bring up. Rise? That's not quite right. Wrap up. End. Pot grower, question mark. What grows in a pot? Nope. We're talking about the pot as in a poker game. If somebody antes into the pot will grow. Beer brand on The Simpsons is Duff Beer. Duff Beer for me, Duff Beer for you. Showed sudden interest in a way. Do we want interest like a return on investment? I don't. Showed. We definitely need a past tense. Got up? That's weird. Well-rounded figure, question mark. Need to make some inroads into this area. What contains a lot of darn stuff? Sewing box? Or could be something like that. Speedway sponsors. This STP, the motor oil maker. The amigos of film, for example, are a trio. The three amigos. Big name in magic, maybe Penn of Penn and Teller. Well-rounded figure could be a sphere. Feminist sex educator Sheer. Oh, I don't know this name. Cry of victory could just be I win. Sewing something anyway. Despicable Me anti-hero's name is Gru. depend on, to rely on. The on in brackets means that both the clue and the entry will use it as part of their formulation. Old map inits, probably the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, predecessor to modern-day Russia. Mythical luster, and so luster here not meaning the noun for shine, but someone who lusts. I think this is going to be the satyr, the sort of half man, half, what is it, goat? Goat? I think. Anyway, known for participation in the bacchanalia and that kind of thing. Sewing kit, I guess this is going to be then. So rains hard, maybe? Hails, maybe? Not exactly rain. This may not be right either. I don't actually like it. Designation for the Toledo Mudhens. That's a AAA team. The level below major leagues. In baseball, Toledo is in Ohio, but they are they're the AAA team for what major league team? I used to know this, but I don't anymore, unfortunately. Maybe this is Hales. Rags, for example, so that could be the noun, meaning pieces of cloth, or it could mean to rag on, like that kind of thing. Not sure which, though. Like Satan in the Bible, Satan is fallen angel. I still don't know who this is. When Dracula doesn't feel seen. This theme is still a little bit elusive here. Certain Ivy Leaguers, Eli's, for people who, another name for students or alumni of Yale. AFL dash something. I have no clue. Rains hard. Get ready to attack Dracula and his pals. So I can see that stakes is going to be here. Again, in the lore, Dracula can only be killed in some cases. I thought in some cases by some kind of silver bullet, but in many other cases by, or is it silver bullet for werewolves? Maybe that's for werewolves. Anyway, stakes, wooden stakes are a way to kill a Dracula or vampires. Rags, then, oh, it could just be cloths. I should have seen that. AFL, I still don't know what this is. When Dracula doesn't feel seen. Reflection, something about reflection, and so this might be sheer height, I guess. I don't know who that is. Non-pharmacological component of a clinical trial, so that would be the placebo. AFL-CIO, sure, well, I don't know what that is, but fine. A placebo is a sort of a imitation, something that looks like and feels like the whatever drug you're testing out, but is given to a control group without their or the control group not knowing whether they've taken a placebo or not, to see if the difference between those taking placebo and those taking the actual drug. Well-used pencil say, could be a stub. I usually like nub for this, but that's fine. Sound of a good car engine. Car engines that are working well can be said to be humming. Sport, whose athletes wear top knots. That's sumo wrestling. Ides of March rebuke. That's et tu, Brute, supposedly said by Caesar to Brutus after Brutus led the revolt and stabbed him. What a bargain hunter hopes to pay. Less, presumably. Knob on an electric guitar. Knob on an electric guitar. Tone knob, volume knob. What other knobs do we have? I don't know what they're looking for there. Showed sudden interest in a way. Could be sat up. If you're suddenly interested in something, you might sit up a little straighter. Bring up. To rear. So this is an odd one. You see this. I think it comes from the idea of bringing up the rear. Oh, no. No, never mind. Never mind anything I just said. To bring up children, to raise children, is to rear them. Okay. Pompous people, maybe snobs or something. Lead into second. Second. What word would you have before second? I don't know. What about these downs? Pristine as land. I want untouched here, but it obviously doesn't fit. Veterans Day event, a parade. Do they have a Veterans Day parade? I suppose they probably do. Lake, that's the thumb of New York's Finger Lakes. I don't have a clue. When Dracula doesn't feel seen. Upon reflection. Okay, very good. On something, anyway. Lead into second. Maybe a nanosecond. That could work. Pompous people does look like snobs, after all. Oh, a treble knob as opposed to... Okay, you could have a treble and bass. Treble mid and bass snobs, maybe, if you've got a sort of an equalizer right on your guitar. Fine. Is this Oneida Lake? Get ready to attack Dracula and his pals. Could be raise the stakes. That's fine. Like some jobs. Odd jobs. Okay. Pristine as land untrod. That could be. And the anti-traffic organization is talking about trafficking drugs, not highway traffic. So this is going to be Oneida after all. I think also the name of a First Nation. And untrod, and the DEA is your anti-traffic organization. Let's see. All right. So good. A good amount of trickiness in the fill, and quite a fun theme. So taking sort of pretty common phrases and that might be applied in some sense or other to Dracula. And so I feel like some of these are a bit of a stretch, but they're fun nevertheless. So the first one here, 16 across, Dracula's preferred way to eat wings. You might say that if Dracula likes to eat wings from a bat, you might say he prefers to eat them right off the bat. Presumably, I don't know, maybe not even a cooked bat, but maybe a raw bat. If that's Dracula's preference. But of course, right off the bat, a common phrase just meaning like, for starters or from the beginning. The next one, 26 across, what makes Dracula frantically hop around? Well, Dracula being a sort of, not allergic, but vulnerable to sunlight, daylight. If you've got sunlight shining on Dracula's feet, then Dracula might hop around. But that can be expressed in the phrase light on his feet, which is just a way of saying that someone is nimble or agile, or maybe specifically reference to a dance in terms of ability of dancing. 47 across, when Dracula doesn't feel seen. Dracula famously does not have a reflection in mirrors. And so upon reflection, Dracula would not feel seen in that sense. Although I guess it's not really clear whether Dracula doesn't have a reflection to himself or just to others anyway. Maybe just not at all. But upon reflection, of course, a common phrase meaning, in hindsight or after some thought. And finally, 61 across, get ready to attack Dracula and his pals. You would want to do that with wooden stakes if you're trying to kill vampires. And so you might raise those stakes in preparation for attacking Dracula with them. But of course, raise the stakes, also just a common phrase meaning that the gravity or importance of the situation is being increased. And some other cool stuff. A lot of really fun wordplay throughout. A lot of good. What's the word I'm looking for? Deception and misdirection throughout. This one got me quite took me quite a while to get. Still red. I thought about anger, I thought about fruit, and I did not think until at the very end about the color of cooked meat. So that was challenging. Abase is not a word you hear that often, but it's there. What else here? Cold weather cryptid, not a wordplay, but was able to get me into some of these other things. This is a pretty fun clue for Oreo. Again, not something that I thought of right away, but it's there. I was able to get Soho at first. In New York, it's south of Houston Street. I don't know what it, and in LA, it's I think south of Hollywood or something like that. South Hollywood, maybe. I'm not actually sure what Soho is in London, so I'll have to look that up. What else? We had some like sort of paired-ish clues here, related clues. Bring down here, bring up here. And then some of these quotation kind of things. In a way here, whatever here, when you coming here, and sorry, that's incorrect here. A quartet of them. Clues in quotation marks indicate that you're supposed to search for a phrase that could be replace whatever's being said. I guess this did end up being Sebastian the ibis. I was not aware that ibis. I thought they were African birds, but maybe any kind of warm weather birds. That's fine. Knock back a few. Again, not wordplay here, but need to know both the expression knock back a few and the more obscure word imbibe for that, meaning just to drink. Most often connotation is alcoholic drinks. I still don't know what this show or movie or who this person is, so I'll have to look that up as well. This is a great clue. Felt something on your head. Obviously you are misdirected into thinking of felt as a past tense verb, but in here we want it to be an adjective for something. And here too, well-rounded figure, not too tricky, but hard to figure out what they're after there. Showed sudden interest in a way. I thought this was going to be not about not less literal, more figurative, but in this case it was not. I don't remember. I've seen this before, but I don't know what it is. AFL-CIO. And I also had not heard of sheer height. I'll have to look that up as well. And what else? Rains hard did end up being hails. I'm not sure why. There's question mark there. And mythical luster, I'm glad that I had some crosses here because that could have gotten me as well. A luster not meaning shine, but meaning someone who lusts. Yeah. Oh, and pot grower too. I had first, of course, the implication here is marijuana, and then I had thought about just a plant that grows in a pot, but turned out to be a poker reference. So yeah, lots of good stuff in here. A great second contribution by John Donegan. And a good Wednesday theme puzzle. That's it for today. If you like to solve, do hit that thumbs up. If you want to know what I'm posting next, hit the subscribe button. And thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time on Crosshatch Puzzles. Cheers.